It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday. The regular crowd shuffles in. There's an old man sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin. He says, "Son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. La 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 la. La 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 la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in a mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling alright." And on that note, sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling alright. The Billy Joel song Piano Man actually contains a vast array of communication concepts, including those from chapters 7 through 9. The song that utilizes is Billy Joel's personal experiences when he played at a bar in Los Angeles called the Executive Room. This means that the lyrics are potentially based off of personal communications that he had with the actual patrons. And what better source of examples of the concepts of communication than a song that utilizes conversations within it? This presentation will describe 3 concepts from chapters 7 through 9, as well as those concepts in relation to the Billy Joel song Piano Man. The first major concept that I would like to discuss is the concept of self-discourse, which is from chapter 7. This is defined as purposely giving information about yourself that you believe they might not know, and that you believe to be true. This concept has varying depths and breadth, as you might provide information about a wide variety of topics and times, but it can only be surface level, while telling someone else something about your love life, relationships, and problems you might be having. These varying depths and breadths are metric into how deep a friendship or relationship might be. For example, if I were to tell you that I have autism and that I enjoy rock collecting, that would be a wide breadth but very little depth. However, if I were to tell you that my intense fear of failure is from me tying my sense of self-worth to my achievements, then that would be a narrow breadth but much more depth for me. It ties into the song Piano Man exceptionally well, as there is a massive amount of either implied self-disclosure or direct self-disclosure within the song. Several lyrics would fit here, but not as notable as, "Now John at the bar is a friend of mine, he gets me my drinks for free, and he's quick with a joke or to light up your smoke, but there's someplace that he'd rather be. He says, 'Bill, I believe this is killing me,' as a smile ran away from his face. Well, I'm sure I could be a movie star if I could get out of this place." This shows the concept exceptionally well, as it demonstrates that his friend John is friendly and welcoming on the outside, but also has self-disclosure much more towards Billy himself, giving him the actual way that he feels. The second major concept is the nature of intimate relationships, specifically the aspects of commitment and the aspect of investment being required, as shown within chapter 8. This is described in the textbook as commitment being the desire to stay in the relationship no matter what happens, and committing your time, attention, and to compromise when it comes to loved ones. And this is called a social commitment, and is one of the key aspects of intimate relationships. This could be like me, for example, asking you to come to a restaurant with me. That would be a social commitment. Or a more relatable one for us college students would be if you're planning to go to a party with someone despite not wanting to actually go there. That's another social commitment thing. It even extends into financial and legal variations of intimate relationships, such as parents having social commitment to raise, feed, and parent the child. And then there's the aspect of investment, which is referring to the need to invest time, energy, and other resources into an intimate relationship, such as monetary, material, attention, any number of things. Such as time invested into marriage, the amount of energy put into a relationship. But within the song, there is most certainly a very specific verse that draws attention to this. With that being, now Paul is a real estate novelist who never had the time for a wife, and he's talking with Davy, who's still in the Navy and probably will be for life. And the waitress is practicing politics as the businessman slowly gets stoned. Yes, they're sharing a drink they call loneliness, but it's better than drinking alone. The verse indicates that Paul doesn't either have the time or attention to actually do social commitments and investments, while Old Davy also would, due to being in the Navy for potentially the rest of his life, which is not exactly conducive to a stable relationship. When it comes to the third concept, I chose the function of small groups, most notably the functions of providing service and support, which is defined as when a group provides social support, emotional, or other types of support within a community. A few examples of this would be something like a small charity, volunteer groups for natural disaster therapy groups. I've been in one, which is an autism study group, and we helped each other as well as them. When it comes to the song Piano Man, there's several mentions of groups that provide service or support with writing. A notable one is as the businessman slowly gets stoned. Yes, they're sharing a drink they call loneliness, but it's better than drinking alone, which would imply that they created a small group of their own in order to support each other when they were lonely. Another part would be, and they sit at the bar and put bread in my jar and say, "Man, what are you doing here?" Which means that the group provides both monetary and moral support for the singer, while he provides them with music and company. And the final verse would be, "Well, we're all in the mood for a melody and you've got us feeling alright." Which would mean that there's a group that Billy Joel's a part of, and he provides support emotionally as well as musically. In conclusion, overall, within music, there is always factors of human communication. In my humble opinion, I would consider one of the pinnacles of this to be Piano Man by Billy Joel. It shows so many different communication concepts, such as that of self-disclosure and how it relates to his friend John. The concepts of intimate relationships, specifically the aspects of investment and commitment. As the couple of people at the bar who are not in relationships at all due to their professions. And then there's the groups of support, because it's from Billy Joel himself, who's part of the group of the regulars, basically, who constantly ask him to sing for them. And in exchange, he will usually sing and listen to their problems while they'll give him money and more support. And to finish everything out, I guess I might as well share one last lyric from that being, "Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling alright."